just all the green.
But
I
the
didn't
wind was
bring
so
anything
low,
else.
I had to burn out to get to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the teal. No, it's decent. I'm gonna start just playing
It's
like
fiction about, right.
crazy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanna get, she doesn't, she is a little too far away. Doesn't really wanna rush it, this is just quick. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Katie Johnson. I use she, her pronouns. I am a congregant of Merging Waters Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community that draws on the shared values of mindful interdependence, authentic curiosity, and courageous love. We welcome all of you here in person today, where we share space at the United Church of Christ in New Brighton, and you who are joining on Zoom in our Zoom room. It is so good to be together today in all the ways that we can. If you're with us here in person, we do ask that everyone wears a name tag in an effort to practice radical hospitality and to build community. Some are available on the welcome table out in the entry area. I do have a few announcements before we get started. As always, we encourage everyone to take care of your body's needs during the service and engage in ways that help you feel connected, including crafting, doodling, fidgeting, stretching, etc. We are in the fireside space today. There is the main sanctuary if you need to stretch your legs in the hallway. Please do note we have a canvas labyrinth folded up in the middle of the space here, and we want to try not to walk on it until we get to that point in the service. Reverend Krista is not here today or next week. She's attending General Assembly and Ministry Days through June 21st, and she is available for pastoral care emergencies only. Newcomers are welcome to all of our programming. You need not be a formal member. If you are new to Merging Waters, please consider signing up to receive our weekly e-news, which gives details and links for our events. You can sign up on the sign-in sheet at the welcome table or via the connection card on our webpage. And a couple of announcements of things coming up. Our Unitarian Universalist Association annual gathering called General Assembly, or GA, begins today and continues through next weekend. There are 2 GA watch parties next weekend that I want you to know, or I want to invite you to, not just know about. On Saturday evening, we are hosting a watch party here at UCCNB to view the Ware lecture. Bishop Marianne Buddy is the speaker. Come at 6 p.m. to join in a potluck meal, and the lecture begins at 7 p.m., and we'll do that down in the fellowship hall. Next Sunday, the Sunday service from General Assembly will be streamed online at 10 a.m., and there's a watch party for that too. It's being held at the Riverside Theater and is for UUs from around the Twin Cities. This is traditionally a moving service to participate in. If you want to watch at home, you can search on GA Sunday Worship 2026. That should get you to the link. At least it got me there this week when I tested it. And finally, Moose Jaw is looking for folks to be at their table during Twin Cities Pride, which is June 27 and 28, and there is a sign-up link in the Thursday update.
I have one more. No, I don't.
Okay. Kevin and I, the ones with the microphones right now, put together today's service. Bruce, our Director of Music Ministry, is at the piano here on site, and members of the choir are interspersed in the congregation today to help us help lead hymns as they come up in the service. Our volunteer tech team includes Brian Hill and Byron Johnson today, and Janice Sancott and I create the service slides. I also want to acknowledge that the canvas labyrinth that we have here this week was created by Lisa Gidlow Moriarty, a labyrinth designer and master labyrinth builder who happens to live in Stillwater. In addition to the permanent labyrinths she has installed all over the place, she has several portable labyrinth sizes and designs that can be rented. Welcome once again to our service today. We hope these Sunday services provide a time of sanctuary, reflection, connection, and joy. We'll now light our chalice in person here, and I encourage those of you online to light one at home. Let's see if we can figure this out here. This is our first day back in the fireside room for our summer circle round for summer services. So we'll find our little glitches as we go.
Oh my.
My might be a sign that this needs to be cut down. There we go. This reading is called Labyrinth by Leslie Takahashi. Walk the maze within your heart. Guide your steps into its questioning curves. This labyrinth is a puzzle leading you deeper into your own truths. Listen in the twists and turns. Listen in the openness within all searching. Listen. A wisdom within you calls to a wisdom beyond you, and in that dialogue lies peace. Now let us rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. We do have hymnals on site, the teal hymnals, and then we'll have lyrics on the screen. As an introduction to labyrinths, we have a few short videos. The first video is a simple "What is a Labyrinth?" presented by Reverend Dr. Lauren Artress of Veriditas, a group that seeks to engage people with labyrinth walking as a pathway to personal and community enrichment, healing, and growth. And the second is from a news segment in which one of the newscasters was trying out labyrinth walking for the first time, and also includes a little bit of history and additional information.
Welcome. I'm Lauren Artris, and I'm author of Walking the Sacred Path. And I'd like to take a moment to explain what a labyrinth is, because many people confuse a labyrinth with a maze. A maze has many cul-de-sacs, dead ends, many exits, many entrances, and it's literally designed to confuse you or to have you lose your way. A labyrinth is exactly the opposite. A labyrinth is designed for you to find your way. This is the Chartres-style labyrinth, or the 11th Circuit medieval labyrinth, and you can see there's an entryway down here. And so most labyrinths are large circles, not all. There's different patterns, different ways of the path moves through. But there's always an entrance here, and that entry then becomes the exit on your return path on the way out. So this design has this one path moving through it in a very circuitous way. An easier design is also the classical 7-circuit labyrinth, and you can see that this is based on the simple spiral. Labyrinths are archetypes of wholeness. They're based on a spiral pattern, which is certainly archetypal. As you walk the beach, you see all these spirals on seashells. It's also a circle, and that is archetypal too. The circle is a symbol and an experience of wholeness. And so when you're walking into a labyrinth, it allows the mind to quiet. It allows the heart to open. And so I would encourage you to find a labyrinth on the Labyrinth Locator, which is the Veritas website, and locate a labyrinth near you and go try it. Let yourself experience the labyrinth.
We have labyrinth locator sheets out on the welcome table.
About an hour north of Phoenix, where the saguaro cactus are abundant, is the town of Carefree. It sounds like a place you'd go to check out for a while. Or maybe check in with yourself.
What's this thing?
This is a very ancient symbol of how to come back to one's center.
A labyrinth, explains Veronica Lynn Clark at the Savannah Wellness Resort.
It looks complex, just like mindfulness and all these other things, but it's a very simple pathway to the center.
A destination often not easy to access.
What if you're afraid of the center? What if you I don't know, the center's got a lot of stuff going on in there. I just as soon leave that door closed.
A lot of people are afraid of it.
Yeah.
That's okay. Not everybody's going to want to go right to the center. There's a lot of stuff there.
Wellness buzzwords, or is there a there here in the desert? Clark describes it as a kind of walking meditation.
Which can be so much more gratifying even for someone who feels frustrated because they can't sit and meditate. So this is a very simple way to meditate.
Labyrinths, or something like them, have been around for 4,000 years. The modern labyrinth movement started at San Francisco's Grace Cathedral in the 1990s.
I was at the end of my rope, so to speak, with the AIDS crisis, and I was just burnt out.
After careful study and prayer, the Reverend Dr. Lauren Artris thought walking a labyrinth could soothe a troubled soul.
This pattern, if you can allow yourself to just drop in, then you get in touch with this whole other level.
We tried it there in that sacred space. Maybe you don't quite get it the first time. It was different in Arizona.
Part of that is the relaxing. Part of it is just letting go. This is such a beautiful way for people to practice that.
The internal noise, often static, dissonant voices within, began to quiet.
The longer we're out here, the more I wanted to slow down.
A lot of times people will confuse a labyrinth with a maze. The maze is intended to create some confusion. But this labyrinth, if you stay on the path, you're not going to get lost.
It's a metaphor, a journey.
What do you think the labyrinth might be a pathway to?
Inner peace.
Since Lauren Artress brought the labyrinth to Grace Cathedral, thousands more have been built across the country. Many at churches, including at the Presbyterian Church on the Green in Bloomfield, New Jersey. Pastor Ruth Bowling and her husband Carlos built a full labyrinth during the pandemic. It has brought them and the community here a path to healing.
Every experience is different. Every time I walk the labyrinth, it's a different experience for me, but it's always good.
It's not that the labyrinth in and of itself created this experience. You allowed yourself to have the experience by walking through. You can still walk mindfully, peacefully, and still experience the peace inside of you.
So it's portable.
Yes.
If walking a labyrinth is something you've never done before, I hope that those videos gave you a little more comfort with trying it out. And I also liked just seeing the variety of labyrinths that are out there and the view from the top. I thought was kind of cool to see. So as they kind of mentioned in those videos, we have this very brief reading. The point of a maze is to find its center. The point of a labyrinth is to find your center. That has no attributable author.
So I chose a reading that might be fuel for the mind as you walk the labyrinth today, but it doesn't have to be. Prior to my reading it, I'd like to share a little reflection on my experiences with labyrinths. Typically, I do read some fuel, something to stimulate my mind, something to contemplate as I proceed towards the center of a labyrinth. Now, when I get to the center, I give myself permission to stop contemplating, or not. Alternatives that happen to me at times is considering elements of gratitude, or imagining when things are different. It's a great way to exit the labyrinth and return to the here and now, changed. So again, before I read the fuel, I want to share one experience that was very profound for me. I was caretaking my friends Jean and David as Jean convalesced post-surgery, and he's fully blind, and David needed support as his Parkinson's progressed. For respite from caring for them, I went to the top of their hill where there's a reservoir of water for San Francisco. And I found this labyrinth made of stones, almost a feral labyrinth, raw and made of nature. I decided to walk it. It started with statements of support from me as a burning out caregiver. I'm glad I can assist. Gene's direct commands come from having had to provide clear instructions throughout his life for what he needed help with. David isn't trying to cause chaos. He just likes to try and explore and do things as he did before. But as I turned a bend in the labyrinth, there were a couple Legos on the ground. My mind went to childhood with my Lincoln Logs and Tinker toys, and the fact that Legos hadn't made their appearance when I was older. They didn't make their appearance till I was older and no longer playing with such toys. That sent me into childhood memories of our basement in New Jersey, toys covering a large area of the floor. But then there was a Yahoo bottle. It wasn't just tossed as trash, but was strategically placed in the labyrinth. It took my mind to the summers with Greg Emick and his parents at their country store in New Jersey. Each morning I would bail out the rowboats for rental, and when asked, I would take a styrofoam cup and fill it with a little soil and 13 squiggly worms that fishermen bought. A dozen worms for 50 cents. 13 for a dozen. It was the only time I would touch worms. Those thoughts sustained me until I came to a Barbie without a head. And that got me giggling thinking about head replacements. A G.I. Joe head, a Ken doll head, a duck or a puppy head. The little trivial elements strewn throughout the labyrinth stimulated my thoughts in various ways and made for a wonderful labyrinth walk. I found it a wonderful way to guide my mind in the labyrinth, and is now an option I sometimes use when walking a labyrinth. But now, today, I selected a reading as possible fuel for walking this labyrinth. I know it focuses on the turmoils of the past 7 months, but I want to remind us to envelop ourselves in this month's Soul Matters theme, flourishing together. This article was written for the UU World November 2025 edition. The date on it notes that it was written on October 29th, 2024, which leads me to believe that the authors, J.J. Flagg and Victoria Safford, probably had a second article ready if the majority of voters' presidential candidate received the office rather than the Electoral College selected. Glad I have these numbered. This is titled Moment of Reflection, All is Not Lost. And the little note from the authors was, as we make sense of the presidential election results, breathe. Do not let go of faith and hope and love. Friend, go to the window. Open the door. Move away from the screen. Pocket your phone. For just a moment, sometime today, let this November, now this June, let this air mess your hair, caress your crumpled, tear-streaked face, kiss your bare hands, and as since you were small, as it will as you grow old. All is not lost. Go to the window, open the door. If you can't, if you're sick or in jail or at work with no break, if you're stuck in an airport or riding a train or in labor right now, if your body can't move to the window or door, just imagine you can smell the rain, taste the wind, the body and breath of a beautiful world. Close your eyes. Breathe deep. Drink deep the nourishing, life-giving air, and let it be spirit within you. Breathe in life and breathe it out again. Life. Breathe more. This is your life and our life together, you and I, and all the beloveds at risk now as never before. Humans and trees, rivers and land, animals, children and birds. Breathe in love for them. Breathe in love for all of us. Protection, resolve. And when you're able, when you're ready, whenever you can, breathe out a prayer of hope. This may take a while. We may have to hold our breaths a long while, gulping in air as if we were desperate, which today, my friend, we may be. Breathe in rage and fury and fear, bone weariness, grief, panic, disgust. Breathe out a whisper, a sliver, a shiver, a single frail molecule of hope, to be carried like milkweed, God only knows where. You know this and must not forget. Still and always we are held within, and we comprise a larger love. We are held within, and we comprise the mighty, irrefutable persistence and resistance of our ancestors, and the urgent, laughing beauty of our children. We are held within, and we comprise holy and ferocious power. Spirit breath moves through us still, inspiring, insisting. Any act of love we undertake henceforth will be a revolution. Open your window, go to the door, reach for a neighbor, even a stranger. Now I believe, as I didn't before, that I could knock on almost any door, tremble on the threshold, and when they opened, collapse in their arms. They'll hold you. you'll hold them, weeping, fists pounding, amazed at your brazen audacity, a little embarrassed but mostly emboldened. What on earth is left for us to lose? Take a breath, taste the wind, drink the rain. This feast prepared anew each day. Remember who you are, and who's the beloveds and beloved who know you by your name, who expect great things of you, which is to say that you will keep on going, never alone, and with all your dignity still shining. Breathe deep and notice now who's hurting, who now is in danger, who needs your prayers of hope, and more than that, way more, in order to survive. Hold out your brave and loving hands, stronger than you know, your brave and beating heart, and do not, under any circumstances, let go of beauty and truth. Do not let go of faith and hope and love. We are held within, and we comprise a holiness no tyrant can diminish or demean. May this partially be some thoughts you might take in to the labyrinth.
We're going to share some of that information, and it does include socks. And we have spare socks if you're not wearing it.
So now we'll take time to experience a labyrinth. So we have this labyrinth painted on canvas for walking. We also have some printouts of finger labyrinths, which I realize I forgot to put out. I'll have to grab them. We'll put a couple of links in the chat for those joining on Zoom. There are finger labyrinths in the chat, a link to finger labyrinths, and an animated labyrinth walk. And perhaps if you're joining on Zoom, you can enter into the labyrinth spirit by watching those here as they walk. This is a classical style labyrinth where you walk to the center and then return or turn around and walk out. Please walk in socks, no shoes, and no bare feet. We do have a basket of socks over here. We come over in both small and large sizes if you need a pair. We'd like to allow about up to 2 people to walk at a time so it doesn't feel too crowded, and as one person can enter and walk partway around, and then the next person can sort of join in. It is okay to pass people in either direction. Go ahead and find your own pace. It's kind of a small labyrinth, so you don't have a lot of time to adjust how fast you're walking or whatever, but you don't need to take a labyrinth fast or slower at any particular pace. And like I said, it's okay to pass someone if you're at a different pace than them. For those of you who do take the opportunity and walk the labyrinth, we invite you to, I'm missing my other bowl. I'm going to have to find my other bowl. We have a bowl full of rocks and little gems here. No, it shouldn't be downstairs. It should be both over there. And take a stone from the bowl here, and then when you get to the center, place it in the center, and hopefully we'll find a little bowl to put for you to place it there. You can think of that stone that you're carrying. It can be like a meditative stone, but you can think of it as a gift, as a blessing, as a letting go, in whatever way that makes sense to you, or just carry it. And then the collection of stones at the center will remind us of all the others who are on the journey with us. Whether you walk the labyrinth or use a finger labyrinth, you can enter it with an empty mind, and the entrance is here. Or you can think about, you can hold in your mind some sort of joy or concern that you might have, or a problem or something you've been pondering. You can set an intention, like I'd like to be more patient or something like that. You can really enter the labyrinth however you want. If you don't want to enter it with a completely blank mind, I have a little bag of prompts here. So again, we want to make it as easy and unscary as possible. Then following your time in the labyrinth, if you're one who likes to write about your experiences, we have a few writing materials on the table where Kevin is now. So during the labyrinth walking time, Bruce will play some background music, and maybe not. There will be also times of silence, so don't worry about what's going on in that regard. You might hear something or not, and then we'll come back together after a little chance to walk the labyrinth and see if we have any reflections, and then join together in a hymn. So please. I shared that we're going to put some things in the chat, yes. So I think we're ready.
with the abilities to walk it between 11 and 1, 11:30 and 1:30, and 4 to 6. So each day.
So let us now enter into a spirit of generosity. We'll just pass the basket around the circle today here on site, and there are the online options as well, which we can see in the slides. Today, any undesignated contributions will support our Emerging Waters regular operating expenses. If you'd like your contribution to go to our June community partner, which is our UUA LGBTQ plus ministries, please use an envelope and check the box or indicate so on your check. Or if donating online, select the June special donation from the drop-down menu. Let us be grateful for generosity. Excuse me. Let us be grateful for the generosity in all forms that has allowed for us to be together today.
So we'll close our service today with a reflection by John O'Donohue titled, A New Beginning. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude open before you. Though your destination is not clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is one with your life's desires. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find the ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you.
And now we'll do our ritual of extinguishing the chalice here and at home together. Pop the words onto the screen so we can all join in reading it. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service is almost over. Remember to check your email and our website to stay engaged with what's happening at the church. I do want to remind you of 4 things happening this week. We'll have this labyrinth available from 11:30 to 1:30 and 4 to 6 p.m. each day from Monday through Thursday. I think we're going to lay it out here in the fireside room. Saturday evening is the potluck and watch party to view Bishop Marianne Buddy speak as our UU General Assembly Ware lecturer. Sunday morning, next Sunday at 10 a.m. is the General Assembly Sunday service, which can be live streamed, or you can join the Twin Cities watch party at Riverside Theater. And on Sunday, for those who haven't by that time been saturated by the General Assembly events, we will have our regular Merging Waters service at the regular time of 12:30. We're going to explore drumming. It's going to be a little bit Sunday service and a little bit drum circle, so that will be happening. I do hope at least one of these opportunities to be in community together calls to you. Today after our service, you're invited to join in a time of fellowship, and for those in person, a few refreshments in the entry. If you're interested in a more formal sharing, if there's enough people, there may be a sparklet circle where we share something that sparkled for you in the service and check in by asking, how is your spirit? That starts about 10 minutes after the service. That'll be here in the fireside room, and those of you online can linger in the Zoom room for discussion. And we'll keep the labyrinth, well, I folded it up now, but if people want to use the labyrinth, we can unfurl it again here before people leave. And as always, as you are greeting each other, please remember to ask for consent if you would like to hug someone. We're glad you joined us today. Go in peace. Our closing tradition is to sing the song, Go Now in Peace, while gathered in a circle, and we're already pretty much in a circle here. I invite everyone here in person to tighten up our circles and also check with your neighbor on their comfort level of holding hands, touching elbows, or having a hand on their shoulder. And then we encourage those of you on Zoom to turn your video on, and if we could see the gallery view in here, that would be cool too, so that we can all see each other. And we can pop the words into chat. If you're unfamiliar with the words or the tune, let us sing to you.
somebody could clean up for me, thank you very much. And if you'd like to sign up for July or August to bring food or make coffee and stuff, that would be wonderful too.
Or in other words, you will sign up once you will enjoy it.
No,
No,
no.
okay, you won't.